So something exciting is taking place today. Fulton Beer is launching a brand new line of their award-winning IPA, and they're calling this Hop Royalty.
To make it even better, the brewery got some special creative help from a local artist and Marvel comic illustrator. So joining us today to tell us about the exciting additions is Brent Schoonover and CEO of Fulton Brewing, Ryan Patz. Well, thank you both so much for coming in today.
We appreciate you, gentlemen.
Ryan, do you remember that you broke the news of the name right here on WCCO? So thanks for returning with some of the beer.
You kind of snuck it out.
Yeah, we did.
It was supposed to be a secret, but I got to tell you a little bit about Hop Kingdom.
Hop Kingdom, where did the name come from?
Well, we've been working on this idea for a whole brand family of IPAs based around our 300, which is our long-standing favorite, and spitballed a bunch of different ideas, and the name kind of along with the artwork, once we saw some initial concepts, they just kind of clicked.
How did this partnership come together with Brent?
Well, I've actually worked with Fulton when they first released 300. I actually did a promo piece for it about 10 years ago. And Ryan and our kids actually go to the same school together. So
Go
we've kind
figure.
of known each other for a while. And I've done some artwork for them for some promo stuff, but I've actually never did any label artwork. So this was just kind of worked out timing-wise.
It's so cool.
You were saying before that initially you had envisioned Ryan a human being on here, but then it didn't. Something just wasn't quite right?
You know, with anything we make, whether it's brewing beer or coming up with package designs, it's an iterative process, and sometimes stuff works, sometimes it doesn't. Brent and I went back and forth for probably 2-3 months until he sketched an initial concept of this wolf, and as soon as we saw it, all the people at Fulton were like, "Yep, that's it."
That's it.
Okay, so you have a wolf, you have a deer,
A stag.
a stag.
Yeah.
Okay, and then what that? A fox?
A fox. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, they're all they're similar family, but all just so different and so cool.
You know, I think what we really wanted to do is focus on an iconic style of beer, being IPAs. They're the most popular, most important type of craft beer, and kind of marry that up with iconic Minnesota animals. You know, we're really a Minnesota brand, so it's like, let's make an overlap of the two, and here's what we got.
So initially, when he comes back to you, he says, "I don't think that's it." What do you do from there? Like, what's your mindset?
I drink a few beers, I drown my sorrows, realize, we kind of knew that this was going to be a long thought process because this was going to be a big change for Fulton. A lot of their beer labels had been traditionally more text-based, and so to move to an illustration style, it was really important to kind of find the look and feel that would still feel like a Fulton beer, feel like the Fulton look, and come up with something. So when we originally had the first few concepts, it was like, this is cool, but I don't know if it actually works for the branding. And so I actually ended up doing just some Google searching for artistic styles, and I found a few graffiti artists that did some really cool stuff, and they kind of had these really neat animals. And I actually, for all the stuff I've done, I don't have a ton of animals in my portfolio. So I was just like, oh, I could draw inspiration from some of this stuff. And that's when I started concepting, and the first one I sent was the wolf. And that was, I think, got a really good reaction from people in Fulton. And we could be like, oh, let's transition this a little bit. And so then we started coming up with a list of animals that we thought, oh, this would be great, a stag, a fox, and we've got some more coming. I won't spoil them like Ryan does.
I might. Let's see.
Because, you know, we're looking here at the box, which is cool, but when we just saw the pictures of the can, that's really where it kind of hits you. Like, it's on the can, and it's this beautiful artwork that you see. It's almost like, oh, I don't want to, like, wreck this can.
It's a collectible.
Right?
Yeah, it's a collectible.
But I also have to think, you know, you can buy these in stores and stuff. Like, it just stands out.
Yeah, and you know, I think that's definitely what we're going for. Hopefully, the box is what gets your attention, and what's in the can is what keeps your attention. These so these are all. Tonight is actually the first night that anybody gets to try the newer two, the hazy and the juicy, at our tap room. We're launching it there, and then we'll have crawlers, kind of bigger cans for sale with the cool artwork as well as some big poster artwork of the stag. So Brent's going to sign and number a handful of those for some lucky folks.
Now this will be at the launch party that's today, right? Or no?
Yep. So that's tonight at our tap room. Starts at 3 o'clock. We have the beers, the man himself, maybe even me, and we're doing a special pairing menu. Our kitchen crew has some taco pairings for each of the beers, live music, artwork, glassware, so a lot of fun stuff there.
Right. Tell me just real quick the difference between the 300 and let's say like the juicy or the hazy.
Yeah, it's a great question. There's all these different sub-styles of IPAs. So 300, that's the one we've been making for about 10 years, just refreshed and into this series. It's a West Coast style IPA.
Oh, okay.
It's a little bit clearer and more on the bitter end, whereas the juicy and the hazy are newer styles of IPA that have kind of come out in the last few years. The juicy uses this really cool new type of yeast called a thiolized yeast during the fermentation process that actually pulls even more hop character out of the hops to make it's crazy science. I'm not qualified to speak much more about it than that, but really, really cool aromas and flavors coming from that. And then the hazy as well is just uses all these awesome hops. It's very hazy in appearance, so they all are very different from one another, even though they're all called IPA of some sort.
I was going to say, either way, if you can't break down the science, you'll be able to taste the difference.
Right.
You don't
need to know the science in order to enjoy the beer.
No.
Well, Ryan, also Brent, thank you both so much for joining us this morning. We appreciate it.
Congrats on the collab.
Yeah, it's
all
awesome.
that hard work. Thank you.